I will speak first of our ancestors. By their valor, they have handed down from generation to generation, and we have received from them a free state. But if they were worthy of praise, still more were our fathers, who added to their inheritance, and after many a struggle transmitted to us, their sons, this great empire. From Thucydides' Pericles' funeral oration. Now, where does that leave us? What have we been given? What has been left out of our inheritance? While we may not have received Pericles' great empire, our inheritance is a rich one. Our history, our language, our great cities and vast countryside, our freedoms, our institutions, our rites of passage. It is easy to see our inheritance as lacking. The problems of our day are obvious to us, and the solutions we are given ring hollow. Our freedoms are eroded, our institutions have become diploma mills, and our rites of passage have disappeared. Everywhere, our history is twisted and our language under constant assault by redefinition and subversion. Our inheritance is this: not only those cherished things, but the problems we get to solve. What our fathers took for granted, we feel the lack of. We at the Old Glory Club look to the fraternal organizations of the past, and we see that these were the center of community life and of cultural continuity. The men of our age, like the men of every age, need brotherhood. That is why we are here. Ours is a new project, but we aim at changing the culture of our nation generationally. This goal can't be accomplished in one lifetime. We must understand what our fathers and grandfathers understood, to pass to our posterity the inheritance we received, made more whole by our efforts. Join the new Ivy League this September as we build a better future for our posterity, that they may prosper under a more perfect union. Inspired by Johann Kurtz's book, Leaving a Legacy, we will share strategies for building, preserving, and passing down a legacy which we can be proud of. Join us.
Well, welcome. I guess I'm in charge here. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. First of all, I really want to thank all of my guys who contributed to the ad. Not to reveal too much, but that was a monumental effort, and I'm really impressed. The little video we made last year was kind of a slapdash job with my poor video editing skills, and this year we pulled out the big guns. So that's our quick video advertisement for our second annual banquet fundraising event. We've got some great guests. I'm really excited about it. I'm sure I'll talk a lot about that tonight. But who else is on this call?
Your supposed host, NotMeNotYou, is here. Welcome back, brothers, tourists, and ladies, to the chapter house. Obviously, we need to make no greater introduction than that for the new Ivy League. Back again, 1 week short of a year on, as he helped us come in. Son of Hastur joins us. How are you, sir?
Hello. Great. I'm happy to be back. I didn't realize we were all the way back around. We have so many chapters now that I just figured it would be new guys on forever. So
yeah, I mean, if we had been 1 week faster on the most recent one, it would have been new guys forever. But luckily, sometimes this bureaucratic process takes a long time. And joining us also tonight is Mr. T.R. Hudson. How are you, sir?
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. I guess I'm what counts as a niche micro e-celeb, and being a chapter member. Son of
as of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, as Son of Pastor said, you gotta pay your dues, boy. So here I am.
Yeah, I've heard him say that a couple of times, but it's normally when somebody's vomiting on the side of a mountain.
We had no vomiting this year. Everyone was a champ. We had no one threw up. It didn't rain. We got lost, but that's okay.
Oh man, that is some weak stuff. You guys need someone to set the pace.
Whoever's fault it was that we got lost, and I'm not naming names. He might be on this call. He might be speaking right now. It's fine. It all worked out. We were setting a very aggressive pace.
Well, that's what leadership is forging forward into the darkness.
It's a great little microcosm of leadership and of trust and of how far down the path do we go before we all go, are we supposed to be going downhill?
Oh, that's great, guys. I'm glad that
only advancing in a different direction.
So glad you survived. Of course, I guess you could be coming at us from the top of the mountain, though. I imagine. If you had Starlink, that would actually be pretty good. So,
I get a pretty decent signal up there, so I could call in one of these days.
Well, I mean, next time you schedule an induction hike for the next time we're on, and we can have you tune in live. Only it'll have to be at like midnight.
Yeah, when did we got to the top? About 2 a.m. this time. So for those of you who haven't heard our first appearance on Chapter House, go back and listen to it. But to induct new members into the new Ivy League, we have a little bit of a ritual that involves an overnight hike up a particular mountain in New Hampshire. We usually leave the bottom around 11. Get to the top at between 1 and 3, honestly, depending on the conditions. And as much as we can, we stay, we watch the sunrise. There's an oath, there's a little bit of whiskey, there's some stuff I won't tell you about. And we come down as one chapter, with our new members. And then we camp out outside a diner. There's a diner right down the street, but they're never open when we actually get there. So we're just, puddles of men just sitting outside waiting for the poor waitress to let us in.
Sleeping in the car.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, as somebody who's been on this hike, it can be grueling if you keep the pace up. So I'm happy to hear that this is a long-standing tradition, and that every man of the new Ivy League must prove his mettle, or at least his ability to carry his ass up a mountainside.
Absolutely. I think this was our 5th hike, so it really is a tradition at this point.
Well, that's 6. So, we're a year on, and the new Ivy League is one of the slowest growing chapters by design.
Very much so.
There are more prospects now than there are members. Why don't you tell us about what the last year was like, getting those guys through the process?
Yeah, so you're right. We have, I wouldn't say twice as many prospects as members right now, but like you said, we have a pretty slow induction process. But we also invite our prospects out to, we have monthly kind of social gatherings whether it's at a museum or, beach day, whatever it is. That's usually, these are pretty informal. Just events to get to know each other and maybe work on a project, whatever it is. And then
I think you're selling us a little short there, Perez, because we are also, in terms of geography, we're probably the most spread out of any of the clubs that I know of. I mean, we cover all of New England, for instance, and that's
true.
The very tip of Maine, bordering Canada, all the way to the very bottom of Connecticut, bordering the People's Republic of New York.
Well, and so what does that mean practically, right? If you're looking to form a brotherhood, if you're looking to actually be able to rely on someone, our guys in northern New Hampshire and our guys in Connecticut, don't get they wouldn't run into each other if we were doing only very localized events. So the longer period is also designed to make sure that as many people have the opportunity to get to know each other as possible, so that when it's time for the vote to come up, and we have a fairly stringent voting procedure, right? If someone brings someone to the chapter to vote, it's okay, are we ready to vote on this guy? And there's a vote. If anyone says no, there's a round of discussion, and there's one more round. And if anyone says no, which is to say, I veto this, I blackball this, he is no longer eligible, and that's it, right? So we put a very high bar on trust, especially because once you're in, right? And you have voting rights. You can run for office. You can do all these things, right? And so I think slow rolling it to create that bond and to create that level of trust, so that when maybe you don't get a chance to see the guys from Connecticut for 6 months. The next time you see him, it might be at the next business meeting, and suddenly he's got 2 guys he wants to bring in that you never had a chance to meet. One of the things I think every chapter has to reckon with is how in demand every man in the Old Glory Club is. And all of our schedules are packed to the gills. So let's say you didn't get a chance to make it out. Well, how everything you had that guy had to go through, right? In order to be a member of this chapter, So I ideally, when everything's going well, that means by what is that? Is that the distributive property of trust? I trust that guy too.
And I mean, we are deep in enemy territory. Just being probably the most liberal section of the country. I don't think I'm slandering anybody by saying that. I think
California's got a good
fair enough,
strong claim, but I know what you're talking about.
Definitely any states that touch water seem to liberalize, except for the solid South. Shout out to our brothers in Mississippi and Alabama and Florida. So yeah, I think that level of trust has to be there, because I've found personally in my own life, I can't always share my opinions in quote unquote polite company without raising suspicion, and there's always somebody looking to take a scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I wonder, I mean, we are, as you say, deep in enemy territory. I mean, what is it? Moldbug makes the contention that Massachusetts colonized the entire United States, which is probably true, with the mix and the old kind of aristocratic, I don't know how you say, abstractions about equality, and let's just say the people who ran the Virginia Company ended up in Massachusetts. But being so deep in enemy territory, I wonder if it's an unintended consequence of the very slow induction process that it kind of can lend itself to be a little boring, because I'm sure that there are some shitlibs and progressives and progressive infiltrators that would love to be in all of our chapters, making sure that we're not doing anything too fascistic. But I wonder how low their time preference is, if they're willing to kind of put in the time. I mean, Hudson, you said you were just inducted at this most recent induction. Is this correct?
Yes, technically. There's some we won't get into it, but yeah, technically.
Exceptional cases. Exceptional.
I am always exceptional in everything that I do.
Yes, sometimes
many are saying this.
There are emeritus, but I mean, how long were you hanging around with the new Ivy League?
Yeah, about a little over a year. I'd made introductions through a member who shall remain nameless, just because don't want to obviously give away the game, so to speak. But I am kind of an edge case in some ways, because I know and have a pretty good standing friendship with two of the founders of the club who are in Central. So I'd always been kind of in and around the club. Where I previously lived, there was no presence, and I didn't have the time to devote to starting up a chapter. So when my family came to New England, I got spun up in the club right away as a prospect. Got to meet some of the fellas, got to meet Haster pretty much like right away. He just happened to be at the local meetup that I was attending, and it was really gratifying because he read my book, and he's a
I told you I had to get all the fangirling out right away so that we could have a normal relationship.
It was very gratifying.
If you have not read Hudson's books, you're doing yourself a disservice.
But yeah, no, joining the club, and I don't mean to say that being a prospect gives you all the rights and privileges of membership, but you do automatically get access to a great network of men who were really there for me in a very tough time of my life. Last year at the event that we held, I was able to speak for a little bit. I made sure to shout out particular individuals who were really there for me, and I would not have been able to make it through this last year had it not been for the Old Glory Club. I can definitely say that.
Well, that's a resounding endorsement, not just of the
club,
club, but of the the chapter as well.
Yeah, and I'm humbled to hear you say that. To add on a little bit to that, some of those men who you shouted out, who have been doing great work with us at the time, were not full members yet, and that kind of thing that'll fast track you. You make yourself known in such a positive way that where the line to can I sponsor you, right, is gonna it's gonna get long, right? We're always looking for our prospects who distinguish themselves in these very, I don't know, it's not glamorous to be there for someone when he's in a rough spot, but I think it's important.
Yeah, I wanted to get back a little bit to something you mentioned before. You said that one of the things that, because New England is so large, I mean, it's not as large as, Texas, but it's still a fairly large geographic area. And if everybody has to vote on a new member and they have to get to know these people spread across such a large geographic area, how do you guys go about making sure that everybody gets to meet everybody else?
At the end of the day, you're not going to get to meet everybody else, right? I think it's important to say when you want to vote on someone, you want to sponsor somebody at the meeting, it's like, well, ideally more people would have met him, right? But tell me the story. Why is this person ready, right? Like how did you go from anons on Twitter or whatever it is, an email in the inbox to meeting, to seeing, for this person to demonstrate his quality to the point where you're ready to sponsor him, right? But we do our best to so where our major kind of pockets are, New Hampshire, Boston, Western Mass, Connecticut's building up, we do our best to rotate our events around, so that it's a big ask for guys, closer to New York than Boston to come up to New Hampshire, right? But honestly, I'm very impressed by the willingness to drive all over creation. But more than that, I think it just takes planning. It takes being a little deliberate about how and where you run your meetups, right?
So
that also helps.
When are we doing the meeting at Tucker's compound up in Maine?
As soon as he returns my calls, we will all be there. I've got some Alp tins I need him to sign. But this also helps a great deal with actual attendance at these events, right? If the guys know, well, this month we're going to be up in New Hampshire, next month we're coming to Boston. Well, not only does that help everybody with family, with work obligations, all this, to plan ahead, they know in advance, right, that it's going to come around. And so we do this with our social events, we do this with our business meetings. So
when you're kind of shopping around for places to host them in the individual states or areas, do you have one person in charge of that? Do you farm it out to the locals? How do you
we tend to voluntel wherever we're going, say like, what do we have for membership in that area? You find us a place, right? We've talked internally quite a bit about how do you get guys involved who are happy to just chill. And the conventional wisdom seems to be tell them to do stuff, give them tasks, right?
And so far, you've had success with this.
Yes, yeah. I can think of. I don't want to go too far into the details, but we've had some really, really good experiences with like museums I'd never heard of, right? That we went to as a group. And
I completely forgot to tell you this. The postcard you sent me from the MFA, what was it, 8 months ago?
Yep.
I found it in a stack of mail at the place that I haven't been living in for the last year. I found it like last week, so thank you for that. It was very it was very nice.
I remember sending that and you telling me like the next day that you weren't going to be living at that place for a while. I was like, well, it'll get to him.
And it did. And it was sitting here the whole time, but it was nice to see. So one of the things, it's no secret that the OGC has a tailor and haberdasher, and
very true.
On his own website, it's no secret that he is in Connecticut. Now I don't know.
Hearing about this for the first time.
Yes, if this is the reason why, but the new Ivy League seems to be the most fashion forward so far of all the clubs, of all the chapters, which
I would say we are the most dressed.
Yes, you have the most clothes of all chapters. But I know that there was you guys have put together club jackets. Could you tell us about that?
Oh boy, I could tell you about that. So
you don't even have to win a golf tournament.
I asked actually. So this is also not a secret. I am the proud owner of a green suit. Anyone who's seen me at the national event will know that the bald guy with the green suit is an easy way to remember who I am. And so
well, it's not just a green suit. It's a green pinstripe suit.
It's a very tastefully green pinstripe suit. And
it's like a leprechaun who came out of New Jersey.
Hey, as far as I know, I have no family in New Jersey. So it was important to me that I not subject my chapter members to green sport coats. And the haberdasher does, in fact, know the company that makes the Masters jackets, and he did not have anything nice to say. So yeah, we've been thinking about club jackets or like club attire for a long time, right? For a while, we were floating the idea of like Letterman jackets, but we're all a little old for that now. So
yeah, we're all fully adults,
right? We're not trying to relive any glory days. So yeah, we with Mr. Vendrillo, I picked out some a tweed that I really liked that was green enough, and Wingman says Riddler vibes. I do send Mr. Vendrillo the Jordan Peterson suits, you know, like I'll see something because I'm interested in fashion, right? And I go, is this
something that a man can wear and still
is this rakish or is
dignity?
Jordan Peterson, right? And usually he kind of gives me a look like, come on, man.
Do you like the 80s sort of montage where you come out wearing the suit and then he shakes his head no, and then after 4 or 5,
this is exactly what happens. And if you've ever been
patterns in his swatch books,
if you've ever been on a very long drive with either of us, like we do for the National, you know our musical taste would fit just right in one of those montages. So I found a pattern that I liked. You know, no one reacted too negatively, so we were going ahead with it. So yeah, we're getting club tweeds made. We had the whole bolt, like the whole roll of fabric, shipped to us from Wales, which is an endeavor, but I won't go into all the boring stuff. So yeah, we're all getting, you know, bespoke jackets for the club. It's a really cool thing. I'm really happy to do that. I wanted to make sure this isn't something, you know, there's no branding, there's no little like pinwheels on the inside or anything, right? This is a completely normal, you know, sport coat you could wear, you know, you could wear in your normal life, right? But if you come to our event in September, you will see a whole bunch of guys expressing their particular style with our club jackets. So,
and I think this is probably the most underrated aspect of a national club with regional chapters, is that you build regional culture again. We're not homogenizing. What works for the new Ivy League may not necessarily work for the other chapters in the club, but there is, you know, I'm Eastern Orthodox, so what works in the Greek church won't necessarily work in the Russian church, won't necessarily work in the Antiochian church, but at the end of the day, it's still orthodoxy. So that's one of the aspects of the club that I really appreciate.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point in reflecting the confederated nature of the Old Glory Club. You know, if you know, the Jersey guys decided to get matching outfits, I imagine they'd all be tracksuits of some kind.
Yeah, there we go.
Or you know, the California guys will have, I don't know, matching Speedos. I don't even know what they wear in California.
I shouldn't speculate.
The Birkenstocks.
There you go. Perfect. We'll keep the Birkenstocks and the for.
I'm wearing Birkenstocks right now, so
don't admit to that. You're at home, brother.
I had to run out to my car.
In the house.
I had to run out to my car.
Okay, fair enough.
Tisk.
But you know, actually speaking to that, Mr. Hudson, the new Ivy League also led the charge in getting together their first, like really the first chapter pin, not the first chapter pin, because many of our chapters made their own pins, and for the most part, those pins were kind of like flags in pin form. But the New Ivy League is the first one to put out a design that is completely in line with the old Glory Club, and if our producer can throw it up there, yeah. And it's it's a beautiful piece of work there. One of our earliest members in the club and in the New Ivy League put that together. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. Big shout out. I don't want to drop any names here, but he knows who he is, and he's a real asset to the club, nationally and locally.
Yeah, that's a fact. He does a lot of design work for the national organization as well. So if anyone listening to this needs any graphic design work and they're all right with waiting for somebody who does it,
friend of the show, Banksy.
Yeah, part-time. Well, he got doxxed recently, so that's he's an old man now. He doesn't have a lot of time left. But yeah, for the edification of the brothers in the audience, this is what your logos should look like when you're putting them together. It's a for the pins. It's a beautiful thing. And I saw some guys at the national conference wearing these.
That's true. One of the most interesting things about the first run of pins, and if I can give any advice to you guys doing your own, double check the proofs they send you. I love this typeface, right? If you look at the 3 and you squint your eyes, and it turns out, we're not ordering from a domestic manufacturer, despite what their website might say. You can see how that 3 turns into a 5. And one of the things I'm very proud of about my chapter is how early we got started. So the first run of pins, completely my fault. I didn't catch it. Came with the wrong date. So there'll be collector's items as soon as I have the second batch, which I'm working on now with another company that is domestic. I will be melting down all the old ones, and they'll become collector's items.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be kind of funny. It'll be like a misprinted coin. But for all the brothers in the audience who want to know, please reach out to some of Haster for information on who he's going with to get these pins made.
Absolutely. I'll be vocal about it as soon as it's time.
So, Mr. Haster, in the last year since you've been on, obviously we already talked about how the club has grown, how the chapter has grown slowly, but what has interest been like? Has it been consistent? Has it ebbed and flowed? Yeah, why don't you talk to us about that?
I think there are weeks where we don't get anyone inquiring, and there are days where we get 3 people, right? I think, and that might not sound like a lot, but when each inquiry means emailing back and forth, and then like, okay, you don't seem too crazy, you seem all right, where in the region are you, right? Like, oh geez, you're way out there, okay, who can meet up, and when can you meet up? And as we conduct in-person interviews, preferably with at least two members of the club. So over the last year, we've really, on the level, when you look at it on the level of annually, I think interest has been steady and very positive. I'm really impressed with some of the guys who've reached out to us. You either get very, very enthusiastic young guys, full of piss and vinegar, or you get older guys who say, hey, I'd really like to hang out with you guys, but I run 6 businesses, and I'm vacationing and here or there. They're really all walks of life, all stages of this thing of ours. And I'm really generally I'm really impressed. So
it's going to be really cool when we have guys old enough that they'll be able to induct their son.
Absolutely.
Or their nephew, or like a godson, some, and really start building the intergenerational aspect of this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I harp on this all the time, but that is the goal of this whole thing. People know that I have a daughter, so she's not eligible for membership, but I have a second on the way, and I don't know whether or not it's a boy yet. So if that's the case, maybe 18 and a half years from now, we'll have not our first, because we already do have members who have sons. So
it's something I've had the opportunity to speak at our own event, and at other events, kind of addressing the crowd. And one of the best things about this project is, if we're lucky, we get to do this for the rest of our lives, right? We get to we are here now at the very beginning of this process of this project. Just imagine, I'm absolutely stealing this from another chapter member, not of my chapter. So all credit to that guy. But what does your chapter look like in a year? What does it look like in 5 years? What does it look like in 10 years? And if you have a positive vision for that, I think that's, the sky's the limit on some of this stuff. So yeah, one of my founding members couldn't attend our last event because his son had just been born, right? And I got to say, I really hope in 18 years I can induct so and so, and that would make me very proud.
Yeah, we can see if you can still stand up in 18 years. That'll be wonderful. I mean, my hope for the new Ivy League is that in 10 years, you'll be officially leading the demolishing of the Boston town hall and the reinstatement of the old town hall as the new town hall.
I'd like any of my Boston guys to write that down.
Yes, please. I mean, if anyone doesn't know, look it up. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, this actually, I had another question, which everyone gets asked. What's the demographics like age-wise right now in the North?
Oh, I was going to say mostly white guys.
There's one or two Italians.
There's a lot of Italians. I only half jokingly refer to us as the Ellis Islander chapter. So let me see. So since we did kind of a census at the start of the year, we multiplied. We increased by quite a few members in the last year. This was our biggest graduating class this spring. So our youngest, I think, is 24, and I think our oldest is in his early 40s. In terms of fully inducted, dues paid, stand-up member. But excuse me. In terms of prospects, I know we have guys all the way down to 20, and up to in their 50s. So it really runs the gamut. Most of the guys are on the younger side, family guys, young professionals, really.
Well, that's interesting. So you said younger guys. So I imagine you mean people younger than you, which would be men in their 20s. But you're saying that these elder Zoomers, they have families. I was told that that Zoomers don't have.
It is possible.
They don't have sex.
It is possible for a Zoomer male to attract a female
and have sex.
Well,
not necessarily at the same time.
No, I you know, I have to laugh. One of my good friends, his favorite meme of all time is you don't get it, 26 is young. And when I say young professionals, I am including myself and people slightly older than me. Like, no, you don't understand. 33 is young. I got my whole life ahead of me.
To be fair, many Catholic youth groups that I have seen or been a part of set the upper age limit at like 40.
I can confirm this. I don't know how I feel about attending a youth group up to 40, but yes. So
Well,
no,
I mean,
but
with a group of age gap relationships, right? So,
I mean, based, yeah.
This is the thing. My more normie and slightly liberal friends cannot get through their head that is not insane. Like it's a normal thing.
It's a normal thing for men to be attracted to women.
Yeah, they can't understand. They're too deep. They're too lost in the modern sauce.
Yeah, I could see that. The
that's
normgroids,
gay.
The normgroids truly are lost. It's over for them. But I'm glad to hear that the the age range is so large. You said that the youngest prospect is 20. Is he the youngest alone, or are there other like younger Zoomers who are still interested in joining up?
As far as I know, he's the youngest. Like by a bit. Rather, he's the one who stands out to me as youngest. Now that I think we just inducted a guy who's like 22. Who's actually the brother-in-law of another member, right? So we're already seeing kind of family network stuff kind of shaping up, and I'm really glad to see that. It can be difficult when you have such a young prospect because he's at a different stage in life than you, right? And it can be challenging to meet him where he is. For someone my age to realize that someone who's 20 was born in 2006. Like,
all right, yeah, that's the year I graduated high school. That's awesome.
Right. And you have to. It can take a little bit of intentional setting aside of your own preconceptions to actually form a fraternal relationship with that guy, right? Because he's had such a different experience of life.